This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Should we get out of a Lamborghini?
Welcome to DBL. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We got Sam Shocker back with us, Stephanie Jones.
I know. I feel like I've not sat with Sam on the panel in quite some time. So hello.
Hello, Steph. I'm so happy to be here.
I love that we're also twinning a little bit.
Yeah,
too. I feel like Sam is the much cooler version.
No.
She's like the Gwen Stefani version.
No, you're the chic
with the bow and like
you.
the mini skirt.
Thank you. I do like my pussy bow, but I prefer your outfit.
Just right over me and Jeff. You literally put your arm over me to point at her.
Maybe this is why we don't have you guys on together all the time.
It's a love fest.
I agree with whatever Steph says.
She's got the accent. It's hard not to. All right. Well, let's get to it. Todd and Julie Chrisley have reported to prison. Reported? Like they're signing up for a marathon? All right. Well, it is a marathon. The Chrisleys were convicted in June of defrauding banks out of more than $30 million. Julie, who was sentenced to 7 years, was supposed to report to a federal prison in Florida, but instead she went to a federal medical center in Kentucky that has an adjacent prison camp. It's not clear why she is at the medical facility or how long she will stay there. Meantime, Todd reported to this minimum security prison in Pensacola, Florida. It looks like it's on the MLS. That's where you can get this beautiful apartment.
Yeah.
All right, where he will spend the next 12 years. According to the New York Post, Todd's prison stay will be similar to most federal prison camps, which include TV rooms, a prison theater, and outdoor activities like racquetball, also a little horseshoe.
Who doesn't love horseshoe?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make a weapon at all.
Yeah, and that's how you know it's minimum, when they're giving you iron that you can swing on.
That's 5 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back. And Steph, I'm glad you're here because I want to know, in the UK, how are the prison systems set up? Because here, it's known that our state prisons and our penitentiaries are terrifying, but these, I'm sure they're no walk in the park, but it's clearly there are levels to this.
We also have levels in England. We also have juvenile prisons for like underage, or under the age of 18 or 16, depending on what happens or what the crime that's been committed. But I'll be honest, I feel like you're going to disagree with me, but I feel that, well, if you commit murder or a really violent crime, maybe it's rape or something horrific of that nature, and then there's something that's like financial fraud or a cyber crime, I feel like they're really different, and I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm not saying people are wonderful, they should be all playing yoga and golf and whatever else they can do, but I do think that they're very different, and I don't think he needs to be in a high security maximum prison.
Right.
It doesn't mean I agree with what he's done at all.
No, and I mean, you know, I do stand by, I think that everybody should be in the same kind of facility, but I do feel like they should treat people more humanely. A lot of times, and I can't speak for the UK, but here in the United States, we've done stories where prisons in Alabama don't have any air conditioning in the summertime. I mean, that's something that, like, people would go crazy if you left a dog in the car for 10 minutes.
That's inhumane.
Imagine human beings stacked on top of each other. Who are you going to be when you come out? Are you going to be better after 10 years of that? It's purposeful what we do to our inmates. And so I do wish in a weird ideal world that people that commit financial crimes and people that commit other crimes can be in the same place and be rehabilitated. Unless we want to just say this is about punishment. If we want to say that, then let's have at it. But let's not pretend like we're trying to rehabilitate here.
He's still losing 12 years of his life. It's very cush. I've had apartments that looked way worse than that. We've all agreed about that, especially in East Hollywood. But I will say, I do like the idea. We watched the same documentary, and I know different countries are different than America and how vast we are and diverse. But I did like that in other countries, they treat everybody, despite your horrific crime, like a human being, because their goal is always rehabilitation. The guards shake their hands, they get to know them, and they treat them like a dignified person, even though they have done some really horrific crimes. But they've seen the data that it works, opposed to locking someone up in a cage.
Yeah, but I think I saw the same documentary like you said, but like Norway, I think, you know, that was like far out there, and I think the population is very small, and maybe one murder per 10 years, right? So I don't think there's going to be violent people as per se as like a different country. Like, you ever watch those, like when people smuggle drugs into another country, the prisons they go to outside the country, locked up abroad. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're there for. You did a crime, you are going here, and I don't care what it looks like. That is a deterrent in itself, right?
I think about that all the time.
Where is the deterrent? Because I'm all about rehabilitation and also deterring people. simple, right? If you're going to commit a white-collar crime, be like, you know what? What's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to go to some cushy prison and play horseshoes?
You're not going to be able to see your children.
Right.
You're not going to live your life as you know
But if you're thinking you're going to do that same crime and then go to a prison where, guess what? You're going to have to join some gang to survive. You're going to have to do things that you don't want to do just to survive. This guy's playing horseshoes, okay? He affected a lot of lives, stole a lot of money, made a cushy life for him and his family for years on end. How many people would trade that big? You know what? I'm going to live large for the next 20, 30 years, and then, you know what? Do some time. How many people would trade that off to have the taste of the good life?
I think most probably people wouldn't.
I don't know.
I agree with Steph. I think taking
because
away.
they're wearing the same clothes?
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Exactly.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, this subject you might like, Sam. Madonna is going on her tour. Do it again, but get on camera. Madonna, Sam.
Yes.
Wait till you're on camera. Sam, guess what?
What?
Madonna's going on her 12th world tour.
Yes.
Wow.
Third one ran out of some.
She made the announcement in a video with some of her pals like Jack Black, Lil Wayne, and Amy Schumer. Eclectic group, huh? Watch.
Tropical on the island breeze, all of nature wild and free. This is where I long to be, La Isla Bonita.
Wait, hold up. That's a lot of songs. It's a lot of songs. You think people would come to that show?
I'll be there.
Well, I'll be there. Oh,
there?
yeah, I'm there. There? Okay, so the answer is yeah.
How did those people get in that room?
Amazing.
Madonna, who is 64, has been going on tour since the mid-'80s. Her Blonde Ambition tour in the 1990s made over $60 million. Her last two tours were back in 2016 and 2020. Again, I want to go back to that room.
Yeah.
What if you were going to a restaurant and you'd go, oh, sorry, wrong room, and you just peeked in there?
Yeah, it seems like a dream that you would tell your psychologist. Like, I don't know, Madonna was there talking about going on tour, but Amy Schumer was there for some reason.
Jack Black casually.
It was very strange. It's so funny. I'm cool with Amy and Eric, and I'm like,
why do we sound so surprised? It's Madonna. Like, if Madonna sent you an invitation or asked you to film something with her, you're going to go.
Was that a weird announcement to you?
No, it was creative.
It's like about time. I want to see Madonna.
About time. It's only been 3 years.
Oh my God.
No, it
this
hasn't.
is Madonna.
2020 was her last tour.
Yeah, but it was.
I just read that. You're not listening to me?
I was not listening to you.
It's Madonna. If Elton John, who I also greatly love, admire and respect, can do his Yellow Brick Road tour for like 20 years at this point, Madonna definitely can come and strike a pose. But
don't call it your greatest hits. Like, that just means you didn't write any new songs.
So what? No one wants to hear a new song.
I don't want to hear a new Madonna song.
Like, I don't go on tour.
I love Madonna, and I only want to hear her greatest hits.
I'm with Sam on that one. I'm not wearing black, but I'm with
She'll
Sam.
do something really controversial too. There's going to be something that's really outspoken that we're all going to be talking about. Oh my gosh, did you see what she wore? I mean, like her face. Sorry, Madonna, I love you, but
when you go to like a cool band or whatever, did you?
So
do you want to get back to that? I was skipping over it, but you could get back to it.
I mean,
we're all thinking.
We cannot look. She's had some work done, and it's apparent. And Steph just does not know how to not be honest at all times. There is no shade. There is like, I want you to feel as beautiful as you can, but she looks different.
She does look a bit better in this video than she did about a year ago. I do feel like the amount of fillers in the cheeks have maybe been reduced slightly.
If you saw her walking down the street, would you think that's Madonna?
Yeah, because I obviously know what Madonna looks like, but she doesn't look like old Madonna.
She's also dating like 20-year-olds.
Right.
Yeah, like who cares? It's Madonna. Like there's certain people
care when it's a dude.
Oh,
when it's a 60-year-old guy dating a 23-year-old girl, you wouldn't be like, good for him. You would say good for him.
I would think do what you want.
Okay,
do what you want.
You
and I think at the end of the day, it's Madonna. She's earned her stars and stripes.
She's
fabulous. Like Cher, live your best lives, girls. Live it.
I agree with
I'm here for it.
I agree with
do what you want. I'm not coming in your bedroom. I don't have an opinion.
No, I agree.
I do have an opinion. I think she looks like the cat person.
You did share that. You did share that opinion. That was pretty good. I take it back. Coming up on DBL, our interview with best-selling author James Patterson. He's telling us all about his new thriller. Plus, Channing Tatum is opening up about his divorce and a possible remake of the movie Ghost.
He's so hot.
His hand. It's a new year, and DBL is all the talk.
Let's get it going.
We had a lot to talk about last year.
I'm flexing every day.
And we're not stopping in 2023. I'll see you guys on the flip side.
Who?
But
I think it's purposeful, though. I think she wanted to look futuristic. I think she purposefully wanted higher cheekbones and her grill.
Isn't that what happened to that woman?
She's so out there. She's so avant-garde and extra.
I think she likes
She
this.
likes controversy. She doesn't want to be like just mistaken for like, oh, is it Ariana Grande?
I don't think she cares.
No, it's Madonna.
I think she likes to look alien-like.
Yeah, she loves the controversy.
I'm with her.
She lives for the drama and like to be different.
Can we all go? BJ, are we going? Did you get tickets?
No, I'm not an Icon pre-sale.
Oh.
Icon pre-sale? What is that?
Icon CPAC.
By the way,
Oh, is that what it's called? Icon? Well, I'm very excited. I probably won't get a ticket because I think they're like $1,000 or something at least. I will gladly watch it on a pre-recorded or when it comes out online. There might be, you know what? I bet she'll have a Netflix special on it or something. And I would rather see that, I guess, and like hear her documentary and the stories behind it. But I think she's going to be amazing. She's a great performer. She is outspoken. She'll do something wild. She'll have amazing guests come on and join her. I mean, it's going to be great. I'm very, very excited. And apparently Sam is on it to get tickets, so I'm sure she will get some.
I'm going to jump in here just as a dad that just had to buy 3 SZA tickets. For how much are Madonna tickets going for?
Apparently they're around $1,000. It's a lot of money.
I think I haven't seen a ticket. Long story short, that's about where SZA tickets were in Atlanta. This was pre-sale. It's just like it's my daughter's 16th birthday. I bought it for 2 of her friends, and it's like it's like used car. It's like what my first car cost.
Welcome back. Could we be seeing a remake of the hit 1990 film Ghost? In a new Vanity Fair cover story, Channing Tatum revealed his production company has the rights to the original movie and he's interested in doing a remake, but said without all the, quote, problematic stereotypes. He didn't elaborate as to what they were. So the original featured this iconic scene between Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore and made more than $500 million. Some people have since taken issue with how Whoopi Goldberg's Oda Mae character was portrayed and said Black and Hispanic people were shown in a negative light. Where do we go with this? So then what's the alternative? So if there is someone causing harm, you make them white?
Yeah.
Is that like, let's just put it on the table?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, okay. No, I mean, like, yeah, right?
Honestly, I don't know.
Where's the diversity? I'm going down a slippery slope here, but like if you take out, I get where it's going. I'm just trying to make it interesting here. Everyone wants something remade, but in the right light, in the 2023 light. How do you suppose we do that? How do we do that?
If you're going to do that and you're going to make this a remake, then you set it in 2023. Mm-hmm. If you're setting this when it's supposedly taking place around 1990 or something like that, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
you know what I always do? Let's take race out of this for 1 second.
But the whole thing is about race.
I know,
right.
but I'm saying when I looked at that, when I watched that movie, the first thing I noticed is like I looked at the brownstone they were in Brooklyn. I was like, that place that there's like is all run down would be like a $6 million apartment now. That's because things have changed. In that era, the people that would have done negative things to you may have looked like that because that's who was in that neighborhood at that time. Now, in Bed-Stuy, where Biggie's from, I couldn't afford to live there. And nobody in this room could. So if you want to keep it real, we want to do Biggie's life story, do it next to a boutique dress shop, because that's what's in Brooklyn now. That's what's in Bed-Stuy now. So if we want to talk about that era, and who was living in those neighborhoods then, and who was partying in those neighborhoods and mugging people in those neighborhoods and selling stuff out of their bodega in those neighborhoods. Let's be real and true to that. If we want to do it 2023, let's be true to that. But let's not go back and like redo it with some kind of.
But then people are going to be mad if you stereotype those people for selling those things in a time period out of their bodega. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like everyone. I get what people are doing. I'm not trying to.
Right. It's coming.
I'm just trying to have this conversation, right? I'm just trying to have this conversation. Everyone wants it right? Now I want to make it right too. But if you say, all right, take those people out that were in there and let's make them white who commit the crimes, then people are going to be like, well, why do white people make the crimes? It's like, this is. I don't know. I just don't know where we go. There is no answer to make everybody happy all of the time.
I think you're never going to be happy, but at the same time, we've evolved so much. And I think that's a wonderful and beautiful thing. When you look back at some of your favorite movies, they make you cringe, even though their intent was there. And I never want to go back and retrospectively correct it, because I understand that we all had a different lens back then. But you can't make, to your point, films from 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago and it not be with a 2023 lens. It's going to miss the mark, because we have all evolved together.
I completely agree. What do you think, Steph?
I'm just excited to see anything with a psychic in it. So I just hope they have someone really fabulous that
Who would you want to be Whoopi Goldberg's character?
So I would love Whoopi to come back and redo it.
She could.
As modern day Whoopi, like that would be awesome. Whether or not she would want to is another story. Can you ever replace Patrick Swayze and Demi? No.
Miss Patrick Swayze.
I mean, they're fabulous. That was a stellar lineup, even though, yes, now it's not apropos. But
so if it's on your desk, you kill it? You're not going to...
No, I would want it to be remade.
But it seems like you don't want to replace any of the main characters.
I don't want to... I don't know.
There are kind of characters.
Oh, we need someone really
fabulous. Who would play Patrick Swayze?
Channing Tatum, banana head.
Well, why couldn't he just be the executive producer? Why does he have to star?
Because he's got abs and put him on camera.
No.
He is cute.
Yeah, he's cute, but he's not
for that
Patrick
role.
Swayze. Yeah. We need someone like, I feel like Patrick has got like that manliness, but he's still really soft with it. He's still like in touch with his feminine side.
We need a Miles Teller.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
I was going to say.
Yes.
That was a little...
Yes.
Sexist, if you ask me. Coming up on DBL, we talk with best-selling author James Patterson. He's giving us the scoop on his new book that some people are comparing to Yellowstone and Succession.
When you have a cavity, you end up at the dentist, getting a filling to repair the damage to your tooth. You often have two options: a tooth-colored composite filling or a silver-colored dental amalgam. According to the FDA, dental amalgam fillings contain liquid mercury. A viewer texted us to ask if dental fillings that contain mercury are harmful. So let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the Environmental Protection Agency, the American Dental Association, and Dr. Kelly Johnson Arbor, co-medical director of the National Capital Poison Center. The answer to this question needs context. Here's why. The type of mercury used in amalgam fillings is called elemental or liquid mercury. It binds together with other ingredients in the filling, and once it's applied on your tooth, it hardens into a stable substance. The danger comes from the process of installing or removing one of these fillings, which can expose people to mercury vapor. When dentists drill the amalgam, the friction generates heat, and that heat allows mercury in the filling to escape into the air as a vapor.
Because it's toxic through inhalation, if you breathe in those fumes, that's what can be dangerous.
Both the FDA and the EPA say the amount of mercury that people are exposed to when they get dental amalgam fillings is generally considered safe for most adults and children over the age of 6. But our sources say certain people should avoid getting these fillings, including people who are pregnant or planning to become pregnant, nursing, or those with kidney issues. So what should you do if you already have a dental amalgam filling like this one? Just leave it there. The FDA says removing intact amalgam fillings results in unnecessary loss of healthy tooth structure and exposes you to temporary increase in mercury vapor released during the removal process. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
Welcome back. He sold over 400 million books. That's a lot of books, and he's not slowing down anytime soon. His new thriller, The House of Wolves, is out now and already has readers howling. Earlier, we spoke with James Patterson. She said, ouch.
Please welcome back to the show, James Patterson.
welcome back. Now, your new book is described as a cross between Yellowstone and Succession. So what is it about these kinds of shows that get you excited?
I think a lot of us, including me, including Mike Lupica, who wrote the book with me, we love these dysfunctional, powerful dysfunctional families like on Yellowstone, like the royal family. Except, so Harry goes and his brother slaps him around a little bit and can't talk to his dad. But what happens with the Wolf family in House of Wolves is much, much, much worse. Their family motto is kill or be killed, and they mean inside the family. So it's the other thing about it is, though, we deserve, after the last couple of years and even last week, we kind of deserve some entertainment. And that's what this is, I think, entertainment.
James, it's always great talking to you. Let's talk about your co-writers. You wrote so many wonderful books. Well, I want to squeeze them in there. You just mentioned Lupica. I want to put them in there. And with so many amazing people. And this book, The House of Wolves, is with sports writer, like we said, Mike Lupica. How is this collaboration with Mike different than, let's say, Bill Clinton? And I'm going to circle back.
Bill's a much better, President Clinton's a much better saxophone player than Lupica. Dolly's a better songwriter. And I'm doing one actually with finishing a Michael Crichton book, which I'm just working on now, a novel that he started a while back. So, it's been great. And, people always say, well, there are a lot of disagreements. I've never had any disagreements with Mike Lupica. I never had any with Dolly, whose birthday is this week, and I'll be singing her happy birthday over the phone, and she'll try to cut it off, but I'm going to finish it no matter what.
I love it. Yeah, well, I want you to speak to all the aspiring writers out there, including myself, when we always say that the hardest thing to do is figure out the plot twist. So how do you in your books always keep us guessing till the end, and what's the secret to a great plot twist that's still believable?
Well, I don't know about believable, but, I'll do several drafts. I'll do several drafts of the outline. And every time I go through, I'm always going, well, this happened in this chapter. What if this happened? And, and that's how the twists come in, where I'm always, any scene, I go, okay, well, that's what happened. What would if it went the other way, or if somebody got killed here? And I always like the idea of everybody's at risk in my books. So there's always drama, because you never know if somebody's going to get to the end. And that's true of Yellowstone, too. Other than Kevin Costner, kind of everybody seems to be at risk on that show.
Absolutely. Well, James, a lot of people don't know this, but you produce as well as write. So you produced a documentary, which I love, about Jeffrey Epstein. We were talking about him a little earlier in the show. It's called Filthy Rich on Netflix, who is actually one of your neighbors in Florida. And let's put that into context. You never even saw him, so we say neighbors loosely. Do you think we'll ever find out?
He was half a mile away, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to put that into context for sure. Do you think we'll ever find out who was involved with Jeffrey over the years, or?
I don't think we will. I think if it was going to come out, if there were a lot of people, it would be with Ghislaine. Because that was a bargaining chip, and she certainly didn't play it. So I doubt it. who knows? You never know about these things. And then there's certain things. One of the nice things about novels like House of Wolves is you do get a conclusion. And in a lot of these true life stories, we did find out what happened in Idaho, it looks like. But in a lot of these cases, we never find out. We don't know whether Epstein hung himself or if somebody got in there and wanted to shut him up.
What do you believe? Do you believe one thing or the other?
I think it's possible that somebody went in there to shut him up. I have talked to a couple of doctors who said that it wouldn't have happened that way if he'd hung himself. I don't know. Who knows? We don't. But House of Wolves, you're going to know what happens at the end.
Look at the writer directing us back towards the book. I love that. There you go.
James, we appreciate you. You truly are a living legend and so fun to talk to you. DBL Nation, pick up The House of Wolves, out now. James Patterson, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
The U.S. began the day already $31.3 trillion in debt, according to the Treasury Department, and that's inching closer to the debt ceiling of about $31.4 trillion, the highest amount of debt the federal government can legally accumulate. We turn to a number of sources to answer the big questions, like first, why do we even have a debt ceiling? The Committee for a Responsible Budget explains the debt ceiling, or debt limit, was established during World War I as a way to make borrowing money easier and more flexible, and Congress has raised that limit many times since then. What happens when the U.S. reaches its debt limit? The debt can't rise past the ceiling. No more borrowing. So the federal government can only spend money it has on hand to pay for its obligations. In her letter to Congress, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen also warns the Treasury, quote, will need to start taking certain extraordinary measures to prevent the United States from defaulting, which essentially means doing some creative accounting on repaying certain funds and programs. Yellen expects spending only what we have, and those extraordinary measures will keep the U.S. in the clear until at least early June. So what if we do default? Well, we can only speculate because, as the White House explains, the U.S. has never intentionally defaulted after not raising the debt ceiling, but warns of widespread economic fallout if it does. This Treasury Department report further explains, quote, credit markets could freeze, the value of the dollar could plummet, U.S. interest rates could skyrocket, the negative spillovers could reverberate around the world, and there might be a financial crisis and recession as a result of default. The report examines the last time we teetered on the edge of default back in 2011. Though Congress eventually did raise the debt ceiling, we came so close to the brink that the U.S. credit rating was downgraded. Job growth slowed, the stock market fell, and financial markets were overall stressed for months. And right now in 2023, there's real concern we'll head back to that precarious territory, with a vocal contingent of Republicans in the House of Representatives saying they will refuse to vote for a debt limit increase without certain spending cuts that could be really hard to agree on in this divided Congress. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Publicly releasing tax returns has been a tradition among presidents since Richard Nixon. Donald Trump broke that tradition, his returns only recently being released last December after a years-long congressional investigation. Verify viewer Scott wanted to know whether Joe Biden has resumed the practice. So, Scott, let's verify. Has President Biden released his tax returns? Here are our sources. Before the 2020 election, Biden posted his tax returns dating back to 2016 on his campaign website. Since taking office, he's posted his returns on the official White House site. He released his 2020 returns in May of 2021 and his 2021 returns in April of 2022. Vice President Kamala Harris's returns are also available on the same sites. So, yes, we can verify President Biden has released his tax returns. Another source of controversy when it came to Trump's taxes was whether they were audited by the IRS, something that the agency has done since Nixon. That congressional investigation found the IRS hadn't done those audits most years of Trump's presidency. But since Biden took office, the White House has told reporters the audits have resumed. With your Fast Fact, I'm Casey Decker.
If you're looking to remodel your bathroom, make sure you do it in a way that suits your space. We're talking about it in today's tips, sponsored by Jacuzzi. First, if your bathroom is small, build in, not out when it comes to storage. Next, keep the color palette on the light side. Painting a bathroom a lighter color will open up the space. And finally, hang hooks and shelves. This will free up counter space. If you want to start your remodel, Jacuzzi can help you do it in the right way with a spa-like experience. Jacuzzi offers an unmatched, stress-free remodeling process. Visit JacuzziBathRemodel.com or call 800-523-1523. Sam was just petting her bow when I started reading, and it made me laugh.
Thinking about that jacuzzi?
We'll see you tomorrow.